is there and all that. They're like, I should get this. But why would they buy today versus later? Why buy more from you and do more of their holiday shopping from you versus at the mall? Because they're more tied into you and what you're up to. And so that's why they'll buy now versus later. That's why they'll buy more now versus later. And that's why they'll recommend you to everyone they know, is if they like you, if they're connected to you, if they're excited about your journey, where you're going, and being a part of that and helping you attain those goals, they're excited. What I love about our business too is you'll hear a lot of different people talk, and I think it's just always great to hear because it's a lot of little things that make a big difference. And you'll notice many times it's nothing like crazy revolutionary. Like there'll be some like, ooh, I like that, but it's just a lot of times we keep it simple. We know how to connect with people. You learn psychology. There's little phrases that just get them in the right state, and that really makes all the difference when it comes to the result. So I'm excited for you guys to hear from Frank. As I mentioned earlier, Frank was Silver Cup champion last year. He is a Court of Honor sales representative, over $650,000 in career sales. Currently over $113,000 for the campaign. Right on this. So here he loves life. Rising Star, Inner Circle, Academy of Champions, Sword of Eric. He's had multiple 10K pushes. He was an Aruba trip winner. And it's cool because he also has, like a lot of these guys are Cutco sales professionals, make a lot of money selling Cutco, earn six figures selling Cutco while pursuing their passions. Loves acting, something that he's been pursuing. It's acting and has, different shoots things happening. And while he's selling Cutco and being one of our strongest sales leaders, very, very excited to have him in our division. If we can bring out Mr. Frank Delgado to give you guys the goods. Cowboy.
Gracious. Yeah, y'all are in for a treat. What? Am I sitting?
No, you can stand. This one is.
Yeah, guys, I actually never normally dress like this, but it's cool. So I'll get to it in a minute. So it's pretty cool. Guys, thank you for having me, Kathy. I appreciate the invite to come and talk. A little bit different stuff about me, guys. I've been in business for about 7 years. I wasn't the hottest person coming out of the gate. My fast start was like, I don't know, $2,000. That's pretty pitiful. So if you're below that or above that, that's cool. It's not what you did yesterday. It's what you do today. It's what you do tomorrow. So it's really cool. So rapport, man. I mean, I'm here to talk about rapport. And then, like Kathy said, it's not just, there's not rapport for specific things. You should be doing rapport for everything. So quick question. I'm going to try to get engaged with y'all. When do you think you should start building rapport with your customers?
As soon as you walk in, they enter the door.
You're at the door. Okay. So I've heard two, at the door
and on the phone.
and on the phone. Which one do you think would be better?
On the phone.
On the phone. All right. Yeah. It starts the moment they say, hello, who the hell's calling me? Well, who's this? Where's my sister's son calling me, or my nephew? Not them, but neighbors. It doesn't matter. So it starts on the phone, guys. We're pastors, cousins, dogs, friends, late uncle. I don't know what your thing's saying, but okay. So it starts on the phone, guys. I'm not going to spend a lot of rapport building tips on the phone, but something that I learned a long time ago from a good friend of mine. Try to make them laugh 2 to 3 times. Who in here is a good stand-up comic? All right, y'all are all screwed. Just kidding. Just kidding. No. So a couple of tips when they ask, what's this about, or what are you selling? It's probably the easiest way to do it. My go-tos were always, oh, what am I selling? Oh, cool, I'm selling inflatable dartboards. That was my thing. Get it? Inflatable dartboard? You get it? Inflatable dartboards, guys. Yeah. Or bear traps. That was my second tip. And they're like, what? Yes. I'm just kidding, Michelle. Come up with anything you want to say. It can be stupid as hell. I don't know if you realize this. We say a lot of corny jokes, but.
You say brushes for camel's hair.
Brushes for camel's hair. Nice. There you go. See? There you go. I just sell camel's hair. That's all that I do. It doesn't matter what you do, right? So you can use those 2 guys, and then later on you'll figure out something else. It's just you want to make them laugh, smile. I don't know if you realize this, but most of you are pretty new, right? Kind of. Right? How many people have been here more than 6 months? A few, 1 month. All right, 2, or somewhere. Okay, y'all know what I'm saying. So your rapport building skills might not be grand yet, so use somebody else's and then you get into it. Let me see here. Phone, holidays. All right, so when people want to sell a lot, they want to do this, but they don't develop basic stuff. What are some basic things when you meet somebody that's going to make an impression right off the bat? You hear older men talk about it all the time. When you, bam, thank you. Hey, all right. Develop a good handshake. Also, guys, if you, I'm gonna do a little thing, just a little tip that I learned recently. So shake my hand, sir. Landon. So you'll get it here in Texas. Everybody wants to break your hand. So a little tip for ladies too: put your finger out like that, and if you squeeze my hand like hard, like it's impossible for them to squeeze. Like it won't break your hand. Just a little side note because I've had my hand broken. I'm stupid. So if you put your finger out on their wrist, it's really hard for them to squeeze your hand. It's a little pressure point. Doesn't hurt them, but it keeps them from hurting you because you know they're on steroids and they want to hurt your hand. So don't do that. So yeah, shake your hand. Develop a good handshake. It sounds silly, but when you do this, no, you want to be taken serious. Right? And guys too, don't do that. It's not. Okay. They might have a soft handshake too, but you don't want to be softer than them. Okay, so just shake their hand. You don't have to break their hand. Nice, solid handshake, and it sounds silly, but it makes a big difference. And you'll have guys compliment your handshake. It's like, all right, it's cool. Yeah, all right, cool. Let me say some knives now. So same thing. Also, please don't have stinky breath. All right. These are don'ts, by the way. Brush your teeth, guys. Floss once a month. It sounds silly, but it is.
There were some people during the game that I was like, I need to floss.
Yeah, it's just, you know, yeah, and develop a good smile, right? Which is just pretty much keeping your teeth clean. And it sounds silly, but it's important for no one wants to be able to stay talking to someone if your breath stinks. They're gonna be polite, but all they're gonna be thinking about is that one thing. Go brush your teeth. All right, and I'm just saying, do it. And then by the way, if you're living at home or roommate, just like, yo, breath check, way out. You know me better enough, good enough just to breath check me. So I need gum. I always have gum in your car. It helps with rapport building, so that's why it's relevant. So basics, the rapport building. When you say hi to them, learn your smile. And the biggest thing, guys, is listening. And it was my biggest downfall, like in life. I am a horrible listener. Now this stuff is gonna sound kind of repetitive or kind of simple, but this fact is we still don't do it. So listen when you're talking to people. Actually, no. You have 2 ears, you have one mouth, so you should always listen more than twice as much as you talk. So you can't listen to anybody actually when you're talking, right? Guys, anybody been in a long-term relationship or relationship, and they say something, and women, no offense, women, they say something and you respond too fast. I'm like, you're not even listening to me. I was like, yeah, I am. That's why I responded. But if you respond too quickly, you're not listening. So take your time. A good tip is whatever they say, you can say it in your head, or you can even say it out. Like, I don't like that spatula. Oh, you don't like that spatula? Okay. It's okay to say that, by the way. Like, you're regurgitating it back to them, but psychologically, you're listening. So, a little tip, you can do that. So, yes, you want to listen to when they're talking. Well, you want to listen the entire time. What's another really, really basic thing that you can do that it sounds silly, but if you're trying to sell to somebody, what's another thing? Real basic, should do it right in the beginning. And it's really hard. It was really hard for me still sometimes. Eye contact, very, very good. Huh?
Say their name.
Yes, the name and eye contact. Yes, it's extreme. You don't want to be like, that's a nice tree. Like, well, I don't notice the tree yet. Eye contact and knowing their name, guys. It's really important. And I actually had a customer help me do this. He goes, hey, I'm Frank. Landon, nice to meet you, Landon. Try to say their name twice. So you can, if he goes, nice to meet you, Frank, I go, Landon, it's a pleasure to meet you. I'm excited to have, you give me this opportunity, Landon. Like anything, try to say is make a challenge 5 times in the first like 3 minutes, 2 minutes. You need to say it and get ingrained because later on you're like, Landon, it's a nice motorcycle, man. Can you educate me? What is that? Like Landon. Just say it and don't speak awkward, but just try to say their name a lot. And I will tell you guys, this campaign, or the last 3 months, I've had 3 days at the booth where I sold pretty much 10 grand, never done before in my career. And that was one of the biggest things I changed. It sounds stupid, but saying Landon, if it's the husband, if it's Mary, get both their names down. And if you need to ask them again, like, I'm sorry, what was your first name again? What was your first name again? Yes. Taylor. All right, listen a little bit better in the chat. I'm just kidding. So Taylor, right? Landon, like get the names down. It sounds silly, guys, but I had never sold that much of food before. And trying to repeatedly say their name, and it's more of a personal connection. And that takes me to the next part. If you're talking to a relative, use their first names. If you're talking to like a friend, like a best friend and their parents, and you can call them their first name, call them the first name. Always first name basis if possible. That makes sense. If it's your teacher and you don't want to call him like Mr. I don't know, Hightower, I get it. But if it's a referral, like if somebody you don't know, once you get there, always first name. That's just my thing. Because you don't buy from a stranger, you buy from a friend. And friends don't call you by your last name. In fact, you'll get a lot of customers. When you get a referral, by the way, you don't want to, if you can, if they're like, oh, I don't know their last name, that's cool. What's their name or their nickname? Like, what do you call them? Now, if it's inappropriate, don't call them. Because you know friends have inappropriate nicknames for other friends. So don't do that. But I'm going to take this out because I'm freaking hot with that thing. I'm going to get to that in a minute. So yeah. First name basis nickname. So if it's Michael, but they go by Mike or Mikey, call them like, "What's up, Mikey?" So when they're on the phone, they're like, "What? Who's this? I don't know who's calling me." That's an easy transition. So that's always really important to know. Biggest thing, guys, is be yourself. Don't try to bullshit people. People find, be yourself. Whatever interests you are, whatever interests you have, anything that you have, like if you see a random thing in the house that you are the only one to know, point it out. Like, oh my God, that's like a starfish hybrid with the deer. Like, how did you know? I know about that. And then you just like, where'd you get that starfish hybrid with the deer? You just ask them about it. It sounds funny, but it's it. And the biggest thing, the reason why I had this, guys, is a great way to build rapport is stories. Stories is a great way to sell too. And you're like, what do you mean stories? So for instance, all right, who knows what, everybody knows what Costas are, glasses? Anybody ever heard of Maui Gyms? So I never knew what Maui Gyms were up until about 2 months ago. And I was sitting with the vendor. She was next to me. We were working a show. So she started educating me on these. And I was like, and I'm cheap, like when it comes to buying stuff like that. And I was like, how much are they? These are the low end and they're 180. Good thing I didn't tell them. When I talk to customers, I tell them I bought them, but I actually traded cut. That was sweet. Anyways, so she was educating me. She was like, they're this. She's an older lady. She said this. She was like, they're the shit, Frank. They're awesome. She was an awesome lady. Great sales lady. I got these on another pair, and I love them. It sounds stupid, but I love glasses. Like, let me show you, right? You put them on, and normally, cheap glasses just fall off. They stay on. Pretty impressive, right? No, but the clarity, they're phenomenal. They're really, really good. And their warranty, like I can break them. I almost stepped on them earlier. Almost stepped on them. If I break them, they'll give me a brand new pair, like $200 glasses for like $50. And then if you become a good customer, sometimes they'll just give it to you for free. So why is that important? If I work a show, or if you come home, your customer's outside wearing glasses, and like anytime I notice that little logo now, I'm like, oh my God, are those Maui Gems? Like, and they're like, what? Your glasses? Yeah. I'm like, dude, I got my first pair like 2 months ago. Like, how many pairs do you have? And who has Maui Gems? How many pairs do you have? Two. All right. And then, because the lady literally told me this, she was like, no one after the first, they never only have one pair. Ever. Like that's something, like I swear to God, I already know it's to set my second pair. I'm actually gonna buy these ones this time. They're called back swings. Titanium frame is stupid, but you wear it with a suit. Superfly. It's awesome. They're badass. Don't judge me. Get the 380, 360, 360 or 350. Yeah, super awesome. So yeah. So what just happened with me and a customer? Exactly. That's all you're looking for, guys, is a connection, right? Guys, if you want to date, you got to find the connection between you and the girl, right? Right? I mean, physically is one thing, but when you open your mouth, you can say something stupid, and they're gonna. It's happened. Let's be honest, right? They're like, "Damn, that girl's cute." Oh shit. And then I say something, and I'm like, "Shit, I said that wrong. Totally wrong. I should have mentioned. I don't know." So you got to find a connection. So that's all you're doing with your customers. You're looking for a common connection, something to relate to, and then you ask them questions about it, right? You don't need to regurgitate. You don't need to throw up on them, right? Right? Who has a hobby that they love? All right. Huh? What's your hobby? Soccer. All right. So if I was like, oh my God, like if I start talking about soccer, what are you doing? It's like, oh my God, do you know Messi? Do you know this? Oh my God, like the customers can be like, yeah, I do. But if you want them to talk to you, right? The whole listen thing. I don't know why I'm using this, but I like it. Listen. Ask your customer what they love about soccer, how long they got. Like I just got into soccer like 2 years ago with the World Cup. My buddy Baldo taught me, never knew the rules, and now I swear to God, I'm like, dude, you know they only get like 3 timeouts the entire game, like, or 4, 3. Am I right?
It's 3.
This is 3, right? And then even in injuries, right? And then even
European Cup is 3.
okay, 3. Okay, she's with me.
European Cup.
I didn't know they ever got timeout.
Well, okay, my bad. Substitutions. 3 substitutions.
Three
That's what I meant.
Oh.
I was thinking basketball right now because you got to call timeout to sub.
Yeah, I was like,
That was
soccer
the-
doesn't have time.
Sorry, guys. I'm a Houston I'm a big sports fan. Yeah, you're right. We're both right. We're both right. Teamwork makes the dream work. I say that with my customers all the time, by the way. I say that all the time. Teamwork works the dream. Teamwork makes the dream work. And so you start engaging, but you don't want to just throw up. You want to involve yourself, but you want to get them talking about what they love. Right? So I start talking about Maui gyms. They do it. The reason why we're doing like, oh my God, what were you for Halloween?
I wasn't in it.
More anything?
No.
Why not?
I said, I don't know.
What'd you do for Halloween?
I went to Sylvia,
What's that?
haunted house,
That was cool.
and I got stuck in the mud.
Shut up.
And Jesus had to come help me out.
No. Yeah, what do you look like?
Huh?
What do you look like? Was it an actual Jesus or like?
No, like he was an actual, he worked at Sylvia.
Dude, that's sweet.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
I
So you
remember
can literally
walking
say you spoke to Jesus.
Yes.
And he saved you.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is what I was for Halloween.
The cowboy.
I'll give somebody a Cutco gift that they can guess what I am for Halloween.
That guy from that movie.
Farmer?
Think specific.
Crocodile.
Right.
Think specific. Rockstar.
Oh,
Kid Rock. I was gonna say Crows.
Red Mike.
Huh?
Brian.
Ding ding ding. Yeah. So build a rapport. So I just found something stupid as a costume to connect with somebody, right? The only reason I got this idea is the night before, pre-Halloween night, I was a bouncer. I had this jacket on and just a shirt, and then I got drunk. And I don't know. In my experience, when I get drunk, everybody wears everybody's clothes. So somebody threw the cowboy hat on me, and I was walking to get another beer, and they were like, "Luke Bryan." I was like, "Well, thank you, but no, that's tomorrow." So I stole the idea, used it on Sunday, and now I'm Luke Bryan. So that's just my story. And so that's a story that I share with my customers. I'm like, let me show you. And then, by the way, guys, I use my phone all the time if it's charged. I have a bad habit of not charging it. I show my customers pictures. Like, if I'm talking about something I made, if we're talking about costumes, I'm like, boom, really? Let me show you this. And then I start showing my, yeah, naked pictures. Don't, like, put it on, download, I don't know what to do with it. You don't have naked pictures on your phone. All right, I don't take naked pictures, so it's a good thing. I can be safe. Don't have naked pictures. You don't want to be like, yo, whoa, Miss Jones. You don't want to do that. You don't want to. Pack your shit up and leave right there. So build rapport, right? Have fun with your customers. So share. I share pictures all the time. About pets, obviously, it's a very simple one. I'm a big dog lover, so I talk pets. If they got a gerbil, I might not like gerbils, but I'm going to ask them, like, that's pretty cool. Like, be sincere about it too, and be authentic. Don't just make shit up. Like, ask them. A couple of easy ones, guys. When you're out there, right? It's rapport is about questions, right? Your life and your success is gonna be about the questions, the quality questions you ask. Easy one. There's always a holiday, like every other month. So pick the closest holiday that's coming. Like, what are you gonna do for the holidays? All right? If it's Halloween, what do you do? Valentine's. Blah 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 blah. Very simple. It could be, when's your birthday? Anything. It sounds silly, but since Halloween just happened, my service calls. I'm like, what y'all do for Halloween? That's gonna be my line. All right? What if the Christmas is coming? Is this the house where everybody comes to? Right? Like, is this your house, the one that everybody comes to? No?
Oh, we-
Yes, ma'am? Yeah? You got a big family? Yeah? How many are there already? Huh? Like 10? All right. Yeah, hold on to y'all's dollars. We'll take this off for a minute. All right. It's hot up here. You got that joke. All right, got that joke. All right. So 10. So it's an easy transition. Anybody like to vacation? Right? Guys, that's a money. Every customer I talk to, I'm like, are you taking any, if it's in the spring, did you take any vacations this summer? Are you taking any vacations? No. Have you done anything for the year? Yeah. Well, we took a San Antonio trip. That's all Corpus people do. They go up to San Antonio or Austin. And then San Antonio people go down to Corpus. It's fun. And then if you took any trips, guys, express that. Like Cutco, this has been very, very amazing year for me. I've taken, I got a financial guy that's helping me plan for next year, a financial coach for the first time in my life. And and then we're trying to plan as much money that I'm gonna save for vacations for next year. Not the cost of the vacation, but the amount of money that I'm gonna spend per day on vacation. That's something like, I was like, oh my God, I never thought about that. So I was like, $100 a day should be pretty simple. So I started going back on my days for this. I had like 45 vacation days this year. And then I was like, so if I do the same thing next year, calculations. So anything like that, I wouldn't tell them 45 days. I'd probably just like, yeah, talk about financial people. Anyways, that's a little off topic. Vacations is what I was talking about. Talk about Aruba, talk about the trip to Cancun I had with the company. Little things I went to, I talk about on my vacation. Talk about Chicago. I love fucking Chicago. Sorry. I love Chicago. It's fucking amazing. Who's anybody been to Chicago? Dude, how long did you live there? Wait,
No,
start with
I
you.
went as a trip,
Yeah, how long were you there for?
like 2 weeks.
Really? Badass, right? What's your favorite thing about it?
We just walking around, honestly. Just walking, like,
Sounds stupid, but did you go in the summertime?
Yeah.
Everybody's walking around in the summertime, guys. Swear to God, like there was like a cajillion people outside for no reason, walking dogs and skateboards and playing chess at the park. You ever see that? You don't see that shit in real life. Like it's like, never. They're up there. I saw 2 dudes like this. Like, I'm like, it's fucking awesome. How long were you in Chicago for?
About a day
A day?
or two.
What'd you do?
Navy Pier.
Bam, that's the only thing I didn't get a chance to do. But I went to the Bean. I was there for 3.5 days. My good friend, he sells Cutco, but over there he does the Costco program. Long story. We did the pizzas, of course. It's not hard to talk about something you really like. I don't know if you can tell, but everybody I meet, I talk about Chicago, or if it comes up, I'm just excited because it really excites me. On the way up to Olean, when I went a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I got 2 leads, like 2 people that are interested in buying Cutco just because we were just talking. Good rapport. I wasn't like this. He asked me about something, I asked him about something, and we went. And now they want to buy Cutco from me. And one guy is like big supervisor with an oil company. I was like, sweet, man. He was like, so tell me about these knives. And then, tell me about the knives. And he's like, my wife will be calling you. I was like, sweet. So now I got a lead. Like, rapport's awesome. You should do it every day. But on a demo, it's a great pitch to learn. Let's see here. And the only thing I'm going to tell you really not to do, don't lie. If you need a story, I'll give you lots of stories. I mean, like if you need a story to get started with until you develop your own traveling stories, in case you haven't. I grew up really poor. I never had traveling stories. Yeah, you can use somebody else's story. With Cutco customers, about like, I talk about a customer that the grandmother bought Cutco like 50 years ago. This wasn't even my customer. Gave it to the mom. Mom had it. Granddaughter loved to cook, so 3 years ago they sent the entire homemaker. It's like a 50-year-old homemaker back to the factory. Brand new homemaker she's been using for the last like 3 years in college. It's like, oh shit. All right, it's a badass story. Like it's really cool. So you can do that. That's all rapport building is, guys. You make a friend, you make a sell. But be authentic. If you know how to make friends, let me know. I'll help you. And so something that I had to do and learn probably in the last year or so. Well, not that bad, but don't tell the customer they're wrong, or don't say you're wrong. like this is how I use this knife. No, Miss Jones. Kathy did not tell me how to use this. This is don't do that. So you don't have to tell them they're wrong. You can just be like, oh, like that's pretty cool. I never thought about using it that way. Can I show you the way they taught me, or can I show you something really quick? All right, you see the difference? You ask for permission. You always ask for permission, guys. So. It sounds silly, guys. Like obviously, I don't know if you noticed. Like I'm trying to be light with everything. You don't need to be real serious. Like I'm gonna be angry, and be scared. Just have fun. Worst case scenario, if you don't make a sale, you literally got better at communicating. Like that's all communication is. The stuff that Kathy was talking about earlier about business owners and this and that. That's all they're looking for. Is if you can sit with somebody and have a conversation. And the more like better you get at it. And I was never like just this way. I was a little bit more quieter when I was younger. It just develops. It's a skill, and it's fun. And you make the people laugh. Like hopefully I was making y'all laugh a little bit, and I will like my jokes. Like so, that's all it is. That's all rapport building is. So when it comes down to asking for recommendations, which I think that's what I'm supposed to be talking about, by the way. Just kidding. It's the same thing from asking for an order. Why would they buy from you, right? Why are they gonna buy from you? Like at the end of every appointment, by the way, this little side note: when you leave, if they didn't buy from you, just be like, what could I have done better? Like, could I have been more energetic, right? Could I have just had more fun with them? They will buy from you because they like you. They don't buy. They do buy our product, but they're gonna buy more than not because they like you, right? They buy you, not the product, even though our product's just badass. So our product be badass, have fun, and that's pretty much it. I will take any questions. I know it's kind of hard about asking for rapport, but maybe something you've encountered so far in the last few weeks or month or however long it's been Cutco that it was like awkward or any awkward moments with your customer. Those are kind of fun to share with. Actually, I don't want to cut you off before I say that. Great question is if it's the couple, how'd y'all meet? All right, I'm gonna like, guys, just I always gotta ask like, how'd y'all meet? Like, when did y'all get like, how'd y'all meet? What's the story? High school. Yeah. I mean, what happened? Like, he threw popcorn at you. I mean, like,
I was perfect made man. She kind of like had Google ask for me stuff.
Yeah.
And now it's been how long have you been right now? We just never really mingled a lot. And then one time, I guess we were just out and about and finally just like mingled, and then we were married. And so I was like, oh, that's cool. But I did joke about him about like not knowing. But he was like, no, she forgets everything. So it was cool. But the other cool thing is I had a couple. I asked them that just like 4 years ago. Asked them that question. Swear to God, fairy tale fucking wedding. Sorry, I'm cussing a lot on this thing. Fairy tale. Try not to cuss. If I accidentally cuss on an appointment, unless they're super, hopefully I have a lot of report like my story. They're like, ah, it's okay. I'm like, okay. So I asked them the same question, and they go, she's like, okay, we're gonna tell you this is what happened. Literally, like, sounds stupid. First date or second? Nah, I think it was a first date. Like 45 minutes into the date, drops down on one knee, asks her to marry her. Swear to God. Swear to Bob. Been married 35 years. Or 30-something years. Crazy shit, right? I was like, man, if famous people knew you, they'd never get divorced. Like, that's... I mean, he told me that. I was like, shut up. They're like, no. Like, it was like within the first couple days. Guaranteed. I was like, that shit happens? Like, oh my God. I high-fived him because I was like, dude, that's remarkable. Older couples, hey, like, I'm a big believer in marriage and all that stuff. So when the day it happens for me, I'm serious. Like, I want it to last for a long time. And I know it's not easy. So I'm like, usually at the end of the appointment or somewhere in the middle, I'm like, hey, what are some tips? Like, you know, it's like, it's important to me. I'll say, like, I'm like, oh shit, I'm not right now, you know. But, you know, if you can give me some tips, I always like learning from my customers. And then they'll start telling you, like, one of the best customers. And this, the reason why I tell you not to tell them no, it's not important to be right, guys. So this is the actual thing. Someone I learned from, one of my customers goes, look, you can be right or you can be in love, right? Like, and I was growing up, my mom's like that, like, I gotta be right. That used to be me. And then when I took that concept, I was like, all right, so you can be right, or you can make a sell, right, or make a friend, or right and be in love, right? So for all those that are in relationships, it's not about being right, it's about being in love. So it's the same thing with your customer. It's about connecting with them. That's what it's about. So anyways, I'm going to end on that badass note because I hit that good. If anybody has any questions, I'd love to answer some questions. And if anybody wants to wear my hat, they can wear my hat. No? Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Adam? How you doing, Adam?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How do you build rapport with people who like only see you as a sales rep?
So your job is a good question. So how do you build a rapport with people that sees a sell rep? Well, first of all, are you talking about people you know? People you don't?
Like I've noticed a lot of times, whether it's pros or people I know, I go in and they're automatically like, I don't want to be sold as a sales rep.
So, all right. So there's a couple ways to do it. Some people are just like that, but it's a minority. It's not going to be whatever. So the first thing you should do, like, you got to break the ice. Like, go in there and smile. How you doing? Don't just go in there. Give me your credit card. Like, hey, how you doing? Right? How's your day been, man? Or whatever. If it's closer to your age, maybe. How you been? You live here? How long you live here? Where you originally from? You start great. Like, it's almost like it sounds weird to relate, but like salt. Like, I mean, like chopping down a tree. You're chopping down their barrier. Because a lot of people, they don't want to be sold. I think I heard y'all say this. Like, people do love to buy money, spend money. People love to spend money. It's just a thing. It's a natural thing. They love to buy stuff because it makes them feel good. It's an emotional thing. But they hate being sold. So the first thing, like right off the bat, when you sit down, like, Adam, look, man, thank you so much for letting me see you. And honestly, I'm going to tell you this right now. I really don't care if you buy anything. I'm serious. But I'm just glad that you give me this opportunity because I'm really trying to do this for school. I'm really trying to get better at communication. And if you do see something like, I promise I'll give you the best that I possibly can. Is that okay? So they're doing this, right? You don't notice it, but you're doing this, right? Unconsciously. And so it's breaking down a wall. And then all of a sudden, when you recommend something to them, or later on this gets a little deeper with better sales and stuff, then like you're like, hey, by the way, this is what this is for. Like you want to be a consultant, you don't want to be a salesman. So I tell customers all the time, if you're not going to use it, or if you're not going to be comfortable buying it because you're not going to use something specific, then don't get it. Let me help you get something you're going to use. So it's not me, buy this, and then, of course, not just to help me, but I want to be useful to you. And that's what good salesmen are. They're consultants. And so, yeah, you break that down. So that's an easy way. First thing you do, Ms. Jones, look, thank you, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for letting me be here. I get credit just for being here. I'm going to school. I don't know if you know anybody who knows about this or if you ever experienced this before, but thank you first. So they don't have to do anything. And then do your job and make it fun. And you go like, I promise you, Ms. Jones, we're going to have the most fun we possibly can. And if you happen to see something you like, cool, I got an awesome ice cream scoop. Okay, let's go. Give me a piece of ice. And then, so you just break that down. That's it. You just ask a couple questions is really what it is and let them know. My thing and my true belief, guys, is I really don't care if they buy anything. I know that they probably will. But if they don't, it's cool. I don't get mad about it. I don't get butthurt about it. I'm like, that's cool. Have fun with them. Most of the time, it's just such a great product. Giving them that option to choose, and they will. And the symptoms will buy a lot. That's a good question, though. Did that make sense to everybody, by the way? You overcome. Oh, and that's the best way, guys, in sales. I don't know if you've heard this. The best way to overcome an objection. Does anybody know when?
Before it happens.
Exactly, before it comes up. And so that way, and you can read people's body language. If they're like, oh, I really don't understand. And if they might verbally say it, like, oh, I don't want to buy anything. Oh, that's cool. That's fine. Like I told you on the phone, selling them inflatable dartboards. It's cool. And then just show them. Just do your job. Just say, hey, I'm here to do my job. I want to have fun, though. Right? We're going to be stuck with each other for a little bit. Might as well have fun. That's why, by the way, I used to always take fruit on my appointments when I was new. On the phone, I'm like, hey, by the way, you like pineapple? Yeah. All right, cool. Bring pineapple. We're going to cut it up in. We're going to cut it up in. Good time. It's cool. So you set the expectation. It's going to be chill. It's not going to be high pressure. It's cool. Make sense? Good question. Do we only have one good question today? Anybody want to ask me about my cowboy hat?
Where'd you get it?
Cavender's. It's official. Official. It's straight up. You buy shit from Cavender's. It's real.
Yeah, it's real.
It's
Yeah,
real.
that's true.
Yeah, I got my first pair of Ariats.
You look more Jason Aldean. That's just you.
Actually, you know what?
Yeah.
Because my cheeks. I got big fucking cheeks.
Yeah.
That's what it is. And I've been not working out in the last month. So actually, for Halloween, so the
Stop or we don't talk.
I don't know.
I'll do that.
Depends on the questions. I don't.
It's a
Oh, sorry.
Mac.
Sorry, I've been working with the touchscreen over here. How do I do it? Here, do this for me, babe. Will, please.
I don't know either.
If you messed it up, Kathy can blame you.
True.
All right.
Ask me later.
Yeah, actually.